Have you ever heard a story so incredible, so epic, that it feels larger than life? Today, we read diving into one of the most famous stories ever told, the tale of Noah's Ark. It's a story of faith, survival, and a fresh start for humanity. So, grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's journey back in time. The story begins in a world that had grown wicked. According to the ancient texts, humanity's thoughts were continually evil. But amidst all this, there was one man who stood out. His name was Noah. He was described as a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. One day, God spoke to Noah with a monumental task. A great flood was coming, a flood so massive it would cover the entire earth. But God offered a way to save Noah, his family, and the animal kingdom. The mission: build an ark. And not just any boat. This was to be a gigantic vessel. The instructions were specific. Make it from cypress wood, coat it inside and out with pitch to make it waterproof, and build it with 3 decks. Imagine the scale of this project. It was to be 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high. To put that in perspective, that's about 1.5 football fields long. This wasn't a weekend DIY project. It was a colossal undertaking that would require immense faith and perseverance. As Noah and his sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth began their work, you can only imagine the reactions of their neighbors. People likely mocked them, called them crazy. Building a giant boat in the middle of dry land? For a flood that's never been seen? But Noah's faith didn't waver. For years, he and his family toiled, sawing wood, hammering planks, and sealing every seam, all while Noah preached and warned others of the coming judgment. Yet no one listened. Then came the next part of the mission, gathering the animals. God commanded Noah to bring 2 of every kind of living creature, a male and a female, into the ark. For the clean animals and all the birds, he was to bring 7 pairs of each. Picture the scene: animals from all corners of the world, big and small, flocking towards the ark. Lions, tigers, bears, elephants, giraffes, tiny insects, and colorful birds. It must have been an incredible, almost unbelievable sight, a parade of life heading for safety. Noah and his family had to prepare enough food and water to sustain everyone, human and animal, for a very long time. Finally, the day arrived. Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives, 8 people in total, entered the ark along with all the animals. Then, the Bible says God himself shut the door behind them. 7 days later, the rain began. It didn't just drizzle. The floodgates of the heavens were opened, and the springs of the great deep burst forth. It rained relentlessly for 40 days and 40 nights. The water rose higher and higher, covering the trees, the hills, and eventually the highest mountains. Everything on dry land perished. Only the ark, floating safely on the vast expanse of water, survived. For 150 days, the water covered the earth. Inside the ark, life went on. Can you imagine the sounds, the smells, the constant rocking? It was a floating sanctuary in a world submerged. Eventually, God sent a wind to blow over the earth, and the waters began to recede. The ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. After many more weeks of waiting and sending out a raven and a dove to check for dry land, the dove finally returned with a freshly plucked olive leaf. It was a sign of hope, a promise that life was returning to the earth. When the ground was finally dry, God told Noah to come out of the ark. He, his family, and all the animals disembarked onto a clean, new world. Noah's first act was to build an altar and give thanks to God. In response, God made a covenant, a promise, not just to Noah, but to all living creatures. He promised never again to destroy the earth with a flood. And as a sign of this everlasting promise, he set a rainbow in the clouds. So, the next time you see a rainbow stretching across the sky, Remember the story of Noah's Ark. It's a powerful narrative about faith in the face of ridicule, the importance of obedience, and the promise of a new beginning. It's a story that has captivated people for thousands of years, and it continues to inspire us today. What do you find most fascinating about this story? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.